Welcome everyone. My name is Sunshine Zerda, and beside me is Q Violin. We're honored to bring to you 60 minutes of live vibrational yoga. Please go ahead and find an easy seated position either on the floor or in a chair and begin to close down your eyes. Now, those that are practicing yoga, we will just be going through some gentle movements. And if you wish to just listen to the music while seated in a chair, that is completely fine too. Take a deep breath in. Open your mouth. Begin to settle in to this beautiful space. Eyes are still closed, connecting to your breath. Focus on the inhalation through nose, filling the chest and the belly. Open mouth, exhalation. Exhale, let it go. Inhale slowly and deeply once more. Open mouth exhalation. Find a natural rhythm of breathing. Grow your spine nice and tall. Exhale your day. Let go of all your list of things to do. Let go of all worries and anxiety. You are exactly where you need to be. Should your mind begin to wander throughout our practice, that's completely normal. I remind you just to simply come back to breathing, or perhaps focus on just the music. Allow either to anchor you throughout the next 60 minutes together. Relax the forehead. Relax the space between your brow. Relax the jaw. Allow your tongue to relax down away from the roof of your mouth. Relax your shoulders, allowing them to melt down away from your ears. Resting your hands on your knees or the tops of your thighs. Arms and fingers relax. Legs are relaxed. Feet relaxed. Observe the fresh air that enters your nostrils. And notice as the air exits your body, either through your mouth or through your nose. Remember that this is your practice. Move the way your body feels most comfortable. Remember to connect your breath to every movement we do together today. I invite you to let go of any expectations of what you think this practice may be like today. Instead, I invite you to keep an open mind, practice with an open heart, and perhaps a bit of curiosity. And with that curiosity, it allows us to move into empathy. Ultimately allowing us to balance our emotions much better. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Bring your palms to center of chest upon your heart. Stack one hand on top of the other and take a deep breath in. Feel your chest rise. And as you exhale, your chest falls. Breathe into the heart. Inhale. Exhale slow. I'd like for you to set an intention for your practice today. That can be a single word, a quote, or even a mantra, something that comes to you organically. If you're unable to think of anything today, I offer the word peace. May you cultivate peace in your heart, in your mind, in your body, and in your soul. Not only today, but every day. Inhale. Exhale, repeat your intention just a few more times silently to yourself as you breathe. Slowly lower your hands down onto your knees or your thighs. Gently blink open your eyes. And as a community, let us all take a deep breath in together. Grow the spine taller. Exhale, let it all go. From here, go ahead and interlace the fingers. Feel free to switch the crossing of your legs. Let's do some wrist circles here. Let's begin to introduce gentle movement. Don't forget to reverse the direction. Continue following your breath. Good. Shake that out. Let's work on the neck now. Inhale, grow the spine tall. Exhale, right ear lowers to right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, left ear melts down to left shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, lower chin towards chest slowly, keeping the spine nice and tall. Inhale, center. Exhale, lower head back. Allow the lips to part slowly. Feel the stretch not only in your throat, but your chest as well. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, neck circles to the right. Slowly. Just creating circles with the head now. Be gentle to yourself. Back to center. Deep breath in. Exhale, slow head circles to the left now. Reverse the direction. Slowly inhale back to center. Let's extend our legs forward now. Sit up nice and tall. Hands down by your sides. Take a deep breath in. Circle hands up tall. Exhale, gently fold. Now your hands can come right beside your knees. Or if you have a little bit more room, go ahead and extend the spine and crown of head forward as your belly rests on your thighs. Let's flow. Inhale, circle up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Let's do a few more rounds on your own. Remember to connect your breath to every movement. one more together. Inhale, circle arms up. Exhale, fold. Shake it out. Come back to that cross-legged position. And from here, let's go ahead and place our fingertips on our shoulders. Take a deep breath in to grow the spine tall. And as we exhale, we just want to draw circles with our elbows backwards. Inhale, exhale. Take your time. Feel free to go at your own pace. We'll do a couple more in this direction. And reverse. Circling forward now. Just encouraging blood circulation, not only utilizing breath, but these gentle movements. One more here. And release. Hands back down on legs. Deep breath in, rise shoulders to ears. Exhale, press back and then down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, melt the shoulders down. Again. Let's do a couple more. Good. Let's go ahead and warm up the spine now. We'll do some spine circles starting in the right direction. Inhale, grow the spine tall. Exhale, just circling. Hanging onto your knees. Inhale forward, exhale back. And reverse directions. Come back to center. Close down the eyes for a moment. Focus just on breathing. Perhaps come back to your intention and silently repeat to yourself. We'll be here for a few rounds of breathing. Gently blink open your eyes. And then plant the soles of your feet on the ground. And we're just going to take a few rocks up and down the spine. Grab a hold of the knees or maybe behind the hamstrings. And just gentle rocks. Go ahead and swing the feet behind you. Find all fours. Go ahead and plant the soles of your hands down into the ground, palms down. Knees are hip width, shoulders stacked above wrists, hips above knees. Creating more space in the spine, let's inhale, cow pose, drop belly low, arch the back, perhaps gaze forward, or if you're ready, up to the sky. Slowly exhale, cat, draw chin to chest, round your back. Press the palms into the ground. Inhale, arch the spine. Exhale, round the spine. Do a few more, your own pace. Relax in child's pose. Bring your big toes to touch. Open the knees wide. Option number 1, forearms to the ground. Option number 2, reach your fingertips far forward. Hips connect to heels. And if you need to place a cushion beneath your bum, please feel free now. Otherwise, relax the forehead down onto Mother Earth. Come back to your tabletop position, all fours. Knees are hip width. Now we're going to incorporate a bit of flow. Inhale, arch the spine. Exhale, child's pose. Your big toes don't have to touch here. Inhale, arch the spine on all fours. Exhale, child's pose. Press your hips back towards your heels. Just doing this forward to back movement. Feel free to go at your own pace for the next few rounds of breathing. Arch the spine. Exhale to press back, child's pose. Last one together. Inhale. Exhale, press it back. Hold. Kneeling position. Hands resting on your thighs. Grow the spine tall. Take a deep breath in to close the eyes. Exhale, keep the eyes closed. Deep, slow breath in. Fully empty on the exhale. Gently blinking, open your eyes. Come back to all fours. Draw the right foot towards right thumb. Now go ahead and scooch the back leg towards the back. We want the front knees stacked on top of ankle. Follow me here. Inhale, circle hands up tall. Arch the spine, slightly lifting the heart, bending the elbows 90 degrees. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands down, framing front foot. Press hips back to feel the stretch in the right hamstring. And again, inhale, bend front knee, circle arms up. Exhale to lift the heart. Inhale, lift the hands. Exhale, press the hips back. Going at your own pace, continue to your rhythm of breathing. Between thumbs, closer to left thumb. Scooch back leg further back. Keep front knee bent for now. Inhale, circle up. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift the heart. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, frame front foot. Press hips back, straighten front leg. Let's flow. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Exhale, lift the heart. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, press your hips back. Child's pose. Bring your big toes to touch. Open the knees wide and find your comfort zone. And maybe it's right here where your forearms are planted. Or maybe you're reaching fingertips towards the front of your mat. Find that kneeling seated position again, closing, squeezing inner thighs together. Inhale, circle hands up. Exhale, the right hand comes down to the floor. The left hand and arm reaches up and over, feeling that stretch in your side body. Inhale, lift to center. Exhale, switch. Left hand down, right hand up and over. Inhale, center, reaching fingertips tall. Exhale, stretch. Let's flow. Find your own natural rhythm of breathing. Find your own pace. We're going to be here for a few rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Imagine every muscle softening. And find down dog. And all that means is finding an upside down letter V. Lift the hips up and back. Feet are hip width. Palms are shoulder width. And I just want you to pedal out your heels, bending one knee at a time. Here, slowly walk your hands back towards your feet. Find a forward fold. Allow your head to hang heavy. Gaze is through the knees. Chin almost tucked into the chest. Feet are hip width. Interlace the fingers at your low back. And then gently lift the palms, if you can, above your head. Bring it back, down. Inhale to lift. Exhale, bring it back. Let's do one more. Inhale, lift the hands off the back. Exhale, relax hands down to earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Shine the heart forward. Find a flat back. Soften the knees. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly roll up to standing. And pause here for a moment. Tadasana. Palms shine forward. Melt the shoulders down away from ears. Chin is level with Mother Earth. Lift the kneecaps to engage the quads. Draw the belly in towards the spine. Lift the crown of head taller. Gently blink open your eyes if they're closed. Let's flow. Inhale, circle, hands up, palms touch above head. Exhale, thumbs to third eye, fold, hinging at the hips. Walking hands out, down dog. Exhale, child's pose. Bring big toes to touch, hips connect to heels. Inhale, cow. Lower the belly, arch the spine. Exhale, down dog. Walk hands towards feet. Slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Inhale, circle, hands above head, palms touch. Exhale, thumbs third eye, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Slowly walk out, down dog. Child's pose. Hips to heels. Inhale, cow pose. Drop belly low, knees are hip width. Exhale, down dog. Hands to feet. Roll to standing. Circle hands above head. Let's flow on your own. Option to follow me. Or do what suits you best and what feels organic. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, down dog. Walk hands to feet. Inhale, circle hands up above head. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale, down dog. Lower to child's pose. Slowly lifting your head, coming to that kneeling seated position again. Let's give you a little bit of self-care. Grow the spine tall. And take just the fingertips, bring them to third eye center. And I want you to just follow your brow. So we're just going to trace above the brow out to the sides of your head and back to center. Tracing the eyebrows. And just doing circles at the temples. Maybe you close down your eyes. Fingers back to center, third eye. Trace the tops of your eyebrows. Gentle pressure until you reach the temples, side of head, and circle a couple times. Couple more. Take the fingertips now towards center right beneath the collarbone. And I just want you to press gently, following beneath your collarbone. Also called the clavicle, just coming back in towards center. Gentle pressing. Bring it back. Light pressure. Not too much, but comfortable. Outwards, inwards. One more time. Outwards, and bring it back to center. Awesome. Go ahead and have a seat. Plant the soles of your feet down on the ground. And let's take 3 rocks up and down. Either grab behind the knees or in front. And from here, palms out in front, facing up. Feet hip width. Spine is long. Draw the low belly in. Take a deep breath to prepare. And as we exhale, slowly lowering one vertebra down at a time, utilizing the core. And draw the knees into your chest. And I just want gentle rock side to side, massaging the low back. And from here, legs up the wall. So creating an L shape. Legs up, soles of feet towards ceiling. Your shoulders and head relaxed down on Mother Earth. And hands can be down by your hips, palms facing up or down for a little bit more of security. And if you're in a tight body, go ahead and softly bend the knees. And just point and flex each foot. We're just allowing the blood to circulate now towards the internal organs. Gravity is constantly pulling down when you're standing upright. So this gives a chance for the blood to come back up towards the organs and the brain. Circle the ankles. Reverse directions. And bring the knees back to chest. Rock side to side. All right, from here, supine figure 4. Take the right heel, flex that foot, rest it on top of left thigh. Now take right hand, thread through thighs, interlace fingers behind left leg. Keep your head and shoulders on the ground as you gently pull left leg towards chest. Now go ahead and release your hands. Allow the left sole of foot to plant down onto the ground. Keep the right heel where it is. Hands out to the side. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, the right foot is going to connect with Mother Earth. A little bit of a modified supine twist here. Not only will you feel it in the glute, but maybe the sciatica, maybe the IT band for some. And just breathe. Either take the gaze up or over right shoulder, whichever suits you best. And those that want a little bit more, maybe the left hand gently presses on that right inner thigh away from you. Wherever you feel tight, focus the breathing into that area, envisioning the muscle relaxing. Good. Go ahead and bring the knees back to center slowly. Draw both knees in. Rock side to side. Now, switching, let's take the left heel, rest it on right thigh. Left hand threads through thighs, interlace fingers, and then gently pull the right leg in. Remember to breathe. Sole of foot to Mother Earth. Keep the left foot where it is. Hands out to the side. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, now the left foot comes down to Mother Earth. Gaze is up or maybe over left shoulder. Just breathe here. Allow the legs to stretch long, feet flop open wide, shoulders relaxed on Mother Earth, palms by your hips facing up, close down the eyes, and when the time is right, I will guide you out of your practice. For now, focus on your breathing and perhaps coming back to your intention and silently repeating to yourself, you are exactly where you need to be. Find peace in the stillness. Gently wiggling your fingers and your toes. Rock your chin left to right. Inhaling, arms above head, stretching fingers in opposite directions of your toes. Welcoming yourself back into the space, draw the knees into chest. And then pick a side to roll over to for fetal position. If the left feels good for you today, or maybe the right, allow your bicep to be a pillow. Just pause for a moment. Eyes are still closed. Inhale as you cultivate gratitude. Exhale all feelings and thoughts that do not serve you well. Let's do that again together. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. And one more. Inhale. As you exhale, slowly press yourself up into an easy seated position. Just as we began our practice, resting hands down on knees for a brief moment. As you grow the spine nice and tall, take a deep breath in. Exhale, allow the chest and belly to empty fully. And draw the palms together at heart center. Inhale your thumbs to third eye, seat of intuition, space between our brow. May we all move forward and think positive thoughts upon ourselves and others. Bring your thumbs to your lips. May we all move forward and speak inspiring, uplifting words upon ourselves and others. Bring your thumbs back to heart center. May we all move forward and respond with only love and kindness towards ourselves and others. Gently blink open your eyes, relax hands down on legs. Thank you again for joining myself, Sunshine Zerda, and Q Violin. We hope that you are more relaxed and feeling more focused and more clear in the mind. Thank you from our hearts to yours.
Hey everybody, this is Veer McCoy, and I am going to be reading the story of Ephraim Fomp and his big time sandals. A book I wrote with illustrations by David Jenkins for kids and big kids too. But before we get into the story, I am gonna play you a little song, the theme song. All right. There once was a boy that lived far away who had very large feet that get in his way. He found some magic sandals, whose could they be? They strapped in his feet and took him on a journey. Ephraim Fomp and his big time sandals, magic sandals. All right, let's get into the story of Ephraim Fomp and his big time sandals. We're going to start with toe 1. You ready? One fine day, as Ephraim Fomp was out digging for noopas in his yard to taste, he heard a strange sound coming from a nearby hoofty bush. Ephraim's ears perked up, and he went to investigate. But just then his mother called him in for dinner. "Ephraim, come get your nardles!" Ephraim scurried into the house for dinner and sat down at the big wooden table. His father waddled in with a sour wince.
External hard drive.
"Ephraim, where's your shoes? Your feet are a mess." Ephraim glanced down at his feet. "But Pop, ain't no shoes fit me." "That ain't no excuse. You wear 'em anyway, even if your toes poke out. Listen, I want you to stay around the house. There's rumors flying around that Sasquatch has been in these parts." Ephraim's eyes popped wide open. "You mean Bigfoot?" Just then, a zook fly landed on Ephraim's big toe, and without even thinking, the other big toe of the other foot reached over to swat it away. That night, as Ephraim lay in bed, the moon peeked in the window and shone light upon Ephraim's big, big feet. Size 21 to be exact. "Ain't no shoes ever gonna fit," thought Ephraim. "Oh well, shoes are dumb anyway." Ephraim smiled and let out a big burp from his dinner. Burp. "Ha-hee, moo, muck, muck, muck." The next day, as Ephraim was out playing, he remembered the hoofty bush. "Let's take a look," said Ephraim. His big-time feet swished and flopped on the ground as he walked. "Oh my," said Ephraim, for under the hoofty bush was the biggest pair of sandals he had ever seen. "Oh my, whose could these be?" They looked very worn in and were made of tan leather with big straps held together by large metal hoops. Shiny gemstones of all kinds were stitched into the straps and soles of the sandals. Ephraim looked around, saw nothing, and heard only the sound of the wind. "Might as well try them on," he said, and they fit almost perfectly. "Ha-hee, moo, muck, muck, muck." Suddenly, Ephraim felt very, very strange. It felt like the sandals were moving. They were. The straps on the sandals began to tighten down, and the gemstones seemed to be glowing. "Hey, hey, hey! What's happening?" Ephraim hollered. He reached down to unbuckle the sandals, but they wouldn't budge. Ephraim couldn't control where his feet were going. "Hey, hey, hey!" Ephraim cried. "I got to get home. Pa'll be redder than a skinned rabbit. Let me go." The sandals made his feet walk forward in a direction he didn't really want to go, away from his home and into the forest of the big, dark, two-tongued trees. The hairs on his toes stood on end as his big-time feet flopped on the mossy forest floor. "Where taking me?" After a time, Ephraim stopped struggling and let the sandals take him. At least they seemed to know where they were going. "Oh, Paul be so mad," he moaned. "Big feet can't do nothing right." The hilltops grew with a rosy light as the shadows deepened in the forest. The stones and the sandals lit the way through the woods, and the smells began to change to a scent of old ancient stuff, like the way Grandma's house kind of smelled. The two-tongued trees were bigger than Ephraim ever remembered. Seeping butterworts and semi-ovate squashes hung from the trees, swaying lightly in the mysterious breeze. "Oh my!" Ephraim sighed. Toe 2. By and by, and after a while of miles of walking, Ephraim began to hear a strange sound. From deep in the woods came a gurgling. It was a vomus worm laughing near the thicket of smile. It seemed to be covered in a mucus-like slime. It had many pink sections and was slightly larger than Ephraim. It sat in a giant compost pile. "Oh, please, Sir Worm, don't do me no harm," Ephraim said. The worm coughed up a spot of fresh soil and said, well, he didn't actually say it with his mouth. It was more like pictures appearing in Ephraim's head. The worm seemed to be speaking to him in vibrations. No sounds, yet there were sounds. No words, yet there were words. It was a vibratory story. There were pictures of dirt tunnels and leaves turning to soil, rotting bark, a dead chicken, old bananas. What? Thought Ephraim. This is a confusing mess. More story coming. Other worms, compost piles, more dirt, hard dirt, turning to soft dirt. No shirt, happy worms, full bellies, more mucus, more dirt, burping worms. Ephraim began to calm down a bit. This worm seemed to be showing him what a worm's life was like. "Okay," Ephraim said, "what's all this about?" The worm paused and then spoke out loud from one of its segments. "I have something important to tell you. Worms like to dig into the soil to break it down. They like to break it down and turn it into ground so that the two-tongued trees have fresh food and mineral to grow. Worms like to break it down. My message to you is break it down. If you ever have a frown on your face, if you ever seem to be stuck in some waste, break it down. Break it down. Kiss the dirt. Eat some dirt. It won't hurt. Break it down." Ephraim understood, for the tips of his big-time toes began burrowing into the soil and wiggling around. And Ephraim did a little dirt dance, a bit like he had seen Uncle Puka's Fomp do after the harvest. The worm laughed in between coughing up spots of soil. "Break it down." All of a sudden, the sandals moved forward and almost made Ephraim fall over. "Hey!" Ephraim shouted, but the sandals took him off quicker than a rabbit, making Ephraim walk back into the woods. And behind him, the worm just gurgled. That's the end of Toe 2. Tune in tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for Toe 3, and we'll find out what happens to Ephraim. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Stay peace, stay cool, have a good night. Love ya. Bye.
Wow, that was a great story from Reverbia about Ephraim Frump. What did you think about it, Cholo Joe?
Very, very interesting.
It was. I love the way the worm broke it on down. It was the best part. And I also love that Veer wrote the story himself. That was very creative. Very, very creative. Where creativity abounds here at Burning Man in the Multiverse. Everyone is so expressive, especially here at Reverbia. We're the live music camp on the playa. We've got so many musicians playing live music in a place where there isn't that much live music. But there's a lot of creativity. We see a lot of amazing, talented artists. And my favorite is the live music. I was hoping that we could see Cello Joe play some cello. But he seems to be clicking and pushing his buttons right now.
We're experiencing some severe technical difficulties over here.
Like what? Seems to be working just fine to me.
Nope. In the background, the computer is having a lot of problems. Incredible problems. Very, very difficult, very technical problems.
Can everyone see me right now? Am I live? You guys out there? What's the problem? What's the problem?
Nothing. Keep going.
No. What are you doing?
Can't get my virtual backgrounds.
Who gives a shit? You should play cello.
Okay. Give me 5 seconds.
No.
Yeah. There we go.
All right, well, why don't we get ready for it? Well, we figure out our technical difficulties on our end. Why don't we have Haley perform her song about fungi and lichen?
Hey y'all, it's Hallie Gregg here for your daily dose of Muse Science, as in music plus science. I got a question for you. Have you ever been walking along and come across a rock that looks like this, covered in this weird splotchy stuff? Or how about, have you ever looked up at a tree and seen this weird hairy stuff dangling down from the branches? Or maybe you look at the trunk of the tree and see this kind of thing. Have you ever wondered what that is? Well, I'm here to tell you about it. What you're seeing is actually this thing called lichen, and it is one of my favorite things on the planet. You might be asking, why is that? Well, let me tell you a little bit about lichen. First of all, I got a question for you. Take a look at this picture here. Look at the stuff in the middle of the picture, this weird little kind of like ice cream cone looking thing. What do you think it looks like? Does it look like a mushroom to you? Do you think it's a plant? Like, what is it? How about this picture? What does that look like? Maybe more plant-like, but it's got these weird little curvy things? Well, both of these are examples of lichen, and it turns out lichen is actually two organisms in one, or rather two organisms living so closely together they look like one organism. The two organisms that are living together are fungi, which is basically like mushrooms and mold, and algae, which is essentially just really, 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 really tiny, tiny, tiny plants. Now, when it comes to lichen, fungi and algae are besties. They're buds. They're all up in each other's business. If you were to take like a little slice of lichen and stick it under a microscope, you would actually see algae cells, these microscopic plant cells, right up next to fungi cells. They're living that closely together. All the cells are like intermingled. So why do they live so closely together, and what's special about that? Well, it turns out algae as a plant does this really cool thing where it takes the energy from the sunlight and turns it into sugar. It basically creates its own food. Now, fungi can't do that. It doesn't have that ability. So in lichen, another example of which is in this picture, they live together in this thing called symbiosis, okay? In that word, the prefix sim means together, and the phrase bio refers to life. So it literally means these, things that are living together. So in lichen, this is a special kind of symbiosis that we call mutualistic. It's where both living things are actually benefiting from living together. They help each other out, okay? Like I said, they're besties. Basically, the fungi, the kind of mushroom-like part, provides protection and shelter for the algae, and the algae does its special photosynthesis thing. That's the part where it takes the sunshine and turns it into sugar. Basically, it makes food for the fungi because the fungi can't make its own food. So basically, both organisms are providing something for the other. They're helping each other out. And that's what makes them so special, and that's what makes them live together. And what's really interesting about this partnership is that it allows lichen to exist in some really, really harsh conditions, okay? You can find lichen, in fact, that's this orange stuff right here. A lot of time lichen is green, but sometimes it can be orange too. You can find lichen everywhere from the coldest places on the planet, like in the Arctic tundra, like in this picture, to some of the hottest places in the planet, in the world, like this desert here. This stuff covering the sand or dirt, whatever it is, that's lichen too. So I wrote a song about lichen because I think this partnership is just so cool. I'm going to teach you the chorus to the song, and then I'll play the whole song for you, and if you want to, you can join me and sing along. So here's how the chorus goes. I really like my lichen, and I really like you. I really like my lichen, and I think you'd like it too. All right, are you ready? I'm gonna sing the whole song. Hopefully you're singing along with me at home. Starts with the main part that I just taught you. Let's do this. I really like my lichen, and I really like you. I really like my lichen, and I think you'd like it too. Fungi and algae met at a party. Fungi said, I need some sugar, darling. Algae said, I got some right here. Fungi said, cool, I'll protect you, dear. We'll bring our two great kingdoms together, growing rocks and trees in all different weather. A dynamic duo will be the closest. We'll help each other out. It's called symbiosis. Here we go. I really like my lichen, and I really like you. I really like my lichen, and I think you'd like it too. From far away they might not be seen, but keep a keen eye out for that bright minty green. For animals, they're food and nesting material. For us, antivirals and antibacterials. Roll call. Pixie cup, ochre disc, old man's beard, ragbag, speckled belly, and reindeer. Photosynthesizing, fixing nitrogen. What would life be like without them lichens? Whoo! I really like my lichen, and I really like you. I really like my lichen, and I think you'd like it too. All right, before I go, I'm going to leave you with this one suggestion. Tomorrow or today, I challenge you to go out into your backyard, find a living thing, any living thing, and sing about it. It doesn't have to be a whole song. You can just come up with one line. But that is your challenge for today, your Muse Science challenge. All right, y'all, enjoy the rest of your day. Until next time.
That was awesome! Wow! Thanks, Haley, for singing a song about lichen and symbiosis and the way that fungi and sugars work together to create mossy green stuff growing on trees. That was cool, wasn't it?
That was super cool. I learned a lot.
Wow, but you know what's even cooler? Just check out this cool, like what's happening behind us right now in Burning Man.
We're at Burning Man. Look at this.
There's
Wow.
that lady waving around the big giant rainbows and people riding bikes.
Wow, rainbows.
It's a great Tuesday. It's Tutu Tuesday. Where's your tutu?
I haven't put it on yet. I just got out of bed.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
we'll
was
have to
I was
make
out
sure
really
that you
late
get
last
that.
night.
Oh yeah, what were you doing?
Oh, I was dancing.
You were dancing.
I was dancing.
That sounds like a good way to spend your night. Why doesn't everybody dance with me? Let's do a song about dancing.
Okay. I got my rainbow hat on.
I love that. That's very expressive.
Let's do
of
a song
you.
about dancing with rainbows.
Sure.
Okay. Do you want it to be slow or fast?
Why don't we do it in the rhythm to the rainbows that are blowing behind us?
Okay. Dancing, dancing with rainbows. We're dancing, dancing with rainbows. Dancing, waving these giant, super big rainbows. Dancing with these rainbows, look at them wave. Dancing with these rainbows, look at them wave.
The colors of the rainbow are
Just like your hair.
Red, red, red like a tomato.
Red like a tomato.
Red like a strawberry.
Red like your mouth.
My hair. And orange. What's orange? Can
Hey,
everyone
I see
tell
a-
me what's orange?
I see somebody that's orange that's hanging out right over there.
Where?
Right down there.
Hmm.
Orange like
I'm orange.
or it could be like an orange that you eat.
Orange and yellow. Yellow.
What's yellow?
Lemons. What else is yellow?
Maybe a banana?
The lines on the road are sometimes yellow.
What? The lines on the road, those are yellow.
And green.
Red, orange, yellow, and
Green, like grass.
red, orange, yellow, green. What's green?
Leaves.
What about broccoli?
And broccoli.
Yeah, broccoli.
And don't forget about blue.
What's blue?
The sky.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The ocean.
The ocean's blue.
Sometimes.
What about a blueberry?
Blueberries. Yeah.
And what about the next color in the rainbow, which is violet?
Violet.
that purple?
Oh, the colors of the rainbow.
What's purple? How about a giant purple people eater? Oh, I see a bunch of people dressed like bees. Oh. Hello, Magellan.
Did somebody say purple?
Yeah, we were talking about the rainbow.
Ah, yes, the magical rainbow mist that reflects all of the colors of light. In bright white light, there's a million colors.
Hey, Magellan, teleport us somewhere.
All right, walkie, 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 let's go to the middle of the playa.
Whoa, look at this thing. This is some cool art.
Wow.
Look at all these people laying
Check
out on the
this
ground.
out. That is awesome.
Whoa.
Look at this.
Whoa,
The
it's
shapes in the way
spinning.
that it's
Wait, I'm going to
spinning
play a song that
overhead.
sounds like what this looks like.
This is
I'm getting dizzy. What about you, Mouse?
Yeah. Pretty dizzy.
Whoa.
Can we teleport to some new art?
Okay, hold on.
Okay. That was very cool, though. I really appreciated all those amazing visuals.
Wow, it looked so cool.
Yeah, that is so amazing. It's one of my favorite things about Burning Man is everybody brings the best art out here to enjoy.
Oh, whoa, we just teleported.
Woohoo!
Whoa, there's the man. We're riding around on our bikes now. Whoa, look at that. Whoa, it's kind of, the videos, our bikes are kind of hitting a lot of bumps. What's this guy doing?
It's a little bumpy.
Hey,
Oh,
how's
hey,
it going,
buddy.
dude?
Hey, man.
What are you drinking?
Great. Well, let's go follow him.
I hope he's drinking some water.
Oh, wow. Look at this art.
Whoa,
This is incredible.
look at that. It's made out of metal.
Hey, can we go climb it? Can we go climb it?
Oh, I don't
we'll
think,
stick with this guy.
I think that guy said that we can't go climb it.
Ah, okay. Maybe it's not safe. Right?
Whoa, look what I just picked up. It's a
A
giant cookie. Ew, it doesn't taste like a cookie. Try a bite. Eat it, eat it. It's a never-ending cookie. No matter how many bites you take, it keeps on making more cookie.
Never ending cool. Okay.
Whoa. Well, we should gift this to somebody else because we already had some bites of it.
Sure, yeah, let's give it away.
Okay, let's ride and find somebody to give it to.
Okay, let's go.
Wow, this is so cool out here. Look at the sky. Whoa. Whoa, what's that? What's that?
Oh, wow.
Whoa, it's a person in a giant egg.
Oh, is that over there?
Okay. Here, guys, you want this cookie? Wow, this art is so cool. It's gonna keep riding around. Whoa, look at that thing.
Hello.
What is it? Oh, there it goes. Oh, well.
My nose
How do you make your nose disappear like that? That's amazing.
I don't know, but I think it's time for Veer to read us a story.
Oh, let's check back in with Veer.
Yeah.
Veer, where did you go? There he is. Okay, here we go. We're going to hear a story from Veer. Dun da da.
Hey everybody, it's time for Ephraim Fomp and his big time sandals. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to be reading to you from Ephraim Fomp and his big time sandals. This is a book I wrote and it was illustrated by David Jenkins. We are going to start with a theme song. There once was a boy that lived far away who had very large feet that get in his way. He found some magic sandals, whose could they be? They strapped in his feet and took him on a journey. Ephraim Bump and his big time sandals, magic sandals. Okay, where were we last time? We were on toe 3. Do you remember any of these drawings? I'll highlight real quick. So Ephraim Fomp found a pair of magic sandals under the hoofty bush, remember? And he has size 21 feet, and these magic sandals fit him perfectly. But unfortunately, they strapped in his feet, tightened down, and took him into the forest of the two-tongued trees, away from his home and his mom and dad. So the last time we found out that Ephraim met the Vomus worm. And you remember what the Vomus worm told him to do? Break it down, right? And then the sandals took him off and strapped him down. Okay, toe 3. Trees hold secrets, and these trees held secrets. They were two-tongued trees. Under the ground, most trees have roots, but these trees have 2 giant tongues that lapped up water and nutrients from the earth. You see, the soil has everything the trees need. You can't see the tongues because they're underground. But once when Grandpa Fomp had to cut down a dead tree for firewood, Ephraim saw them. Ephraim, come here, son. Take a look at them two-tongued trees on this two-tongued tree. Hold on a second. Let me get you a picture. There you go. Ephraim, come here, son. Take a look at them 2 tongues on this two-tongued tree. You see there? Of course, the tongues were all dried out by then. But there they were, and so strange. You could tell it was a two-tongued tree because the bark was different, and the pine needles had 5.5 needles in a bundle, 5 long needles and 1 short one. This was definitely a two-tongued tree. It held secrets. Ephraim could just feel it. Ephraim went to touch one of the tongues, and even though the tongue was dried out, Ephraim could still feel the tongue suckling on his hand a little. Careful now, boy, said Grandpa. Oh, my, whispered Ephraim. The two-tongued trees made gentle lapping sounds around Ephraim as he flopped along in his big-time sandals. His toes still had dirt all on them from the Vomus worm. Whose sandals are these? Where do they come from? He wondered, glancing down at his big-time feet. How could these sandals fit almost perfectly? And where are they taking me? The gemstones continued to glow, and the bright, shiny buckles stayed strapped tight. Who could have feet this big? They must be somebody's size 21. The sandals walked Ephraim on through the woods. In the distance, a medicine owl called. The sound echoed through the woods like a ping-pong ball bouncing back and forth. Medicine owls only call exactly 1 hour after the sun goes down. "I'm hungry," said Ephraim, as his belly rumbled in agreement. After looking around, Ephraim found a ripe, seeping butterwort to munch on. Except for the owl, everything was so quiet. Ephraim could almost feel the two tongues silently lapping up tree food. "Where are we going?" Ephraim hollered. "I don't want to die in these woods. Those two tongues will lap me up dry for sure." But the sandals just kept walking, and the soft moss squishing beneath them. Otherwhile, back at the hoofty bush where Ephraim had discovered the sandals, a voice spoke. "Where's my sandals? And whose footprints are these?" Toe bore. By and after a while, sounds began weaving through the forest. Was it music? The sandals took him towards it. Soon Ephraim came upon an old fellow playing the strangest music he had ever heard. The man had a great white beard and leaned up against a giant two-tongued tree. He held an instrument that looked like a guitar and had skin stretched across the top of it. It had a funny smell to it, too, like goats. Something in Ephraim sort of liked the music, strange as it was. "Excuse me, mister, but what kind of music is that?" asked Ephraim. The old man spoke without looking up. "It's blues music. Special blues music. Heh heh. Sour mash, yummy gummus music in the key of Z. You see, the blues in Z minor is not so easy to play. You've got to know the notes. They often slip away." And with that, the old man's fingers moved across the strings to make the most magically strange sounds Ephraim had ever felt. The sandals moved Ephraim's feet in time with the music. "Ha-hee, muck, buck, buck." Ephraim giggled as the notes tickled his tummy. Oh, this was yummy, yummy gummus music. "Now, how'd you like to play the blues in Z minor?" asked the old man. "What? But I don't know how," said Ephraim. "Oh, sure you do," replied the blues man. "It don't matter what notes you play or what scales you lay, as long as you got something to say. Then hey, let's play it, create it, bake it, rake it, rhyme it. What time is it in?" The blues man continued. "The notes in between the notes are the best because they make us unique from the rest. Come on now, play a jiggle with me." I don't know. I don't really know how to play no music," said Ephraim. "Oh, sure you do," said the old man. And with that, he handed him an out-of-tune bassoon, and together they began to croon. Oom, honk, honk, boom. They played music that no one had ever heard before. Suddenly, the big-time sandals moved forward, and Ephraim almost fell over. The bassoon fell to the ground. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, where you going, Sandals? We was just getting started. I was learning to play bassoon, cried Ephraim. The Sandals began to force walk him back into the woods, and the blues in Z minor echoed into the distance as the old man just kept on playing by himself. "I wasn't done yet. Where are we going now?" sighed Ephraim, looking down at his sandals. "These sandals seem to have a mind of their own. I wonder if I can talk to them," said Ephraim. "Hey, Sandals, stop right here." The sandals just squished along the moss and thick duff of the forest floor. Ephraim gave up and let them take him. Other while, in another part of the forest, the vomus worm knew something was very, very wrong. Worm, where's my sandals? The vomus worm shook and then nervously laughed. And that, my friends, is the end of Toe 4. Tune in tomorrow night for Toe 5 and Toe 6. You can find this story and the audio book version of this on Amazon or at my website, VirTunes, VIRTunes.com. Thanks for joining us. We will see you next time. Awesome.
And we'd also just like to say that make sure you decommodify yourself and don't go to Amazon and buy the Ephraim Fromp book, because you can catch the rest of it right here on the Reverbia 3/4 Children's Hour.
That's right.
3/4 of an hour, children. Okay, that's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Make sure you tell your friends.
Bye.
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 Welcome everyone. My name is Sunshine Zerda, and beside me is Q Violin. We're honored to bring to you 60 minutes of live vibrational yoga. Please go ahead and find an easy seated position either on the floor or in a chair, and begin to close down your eyes. Now, those that are practicing yoga, we will just be going through some
to Reverbia. Welcome to this belly dance, open level belly dance workshop. I have my awesome musician accompaniment, Michael and Nikilesh on percussion. I'm so grateful to be a part of Reverbia again in the multiverse. So we're gonna do some warm-up stretches for conditioning the core and gaining flexibility, opening the hips, and then we'll go into some belly dance basics. I'm Ishani. Hi. So finding a mat, coming to the top of your space, finding your feet underneath the hips. Knees are bent, tucking the pelvis slightly, taking the curve out of the spine, letting the energy flow up and down the spine, opening the shoulders, opening the palms. Just rocking back and forth from the balls of the feet to the heels, finding your balance, finding your ground, feeling connected through this multiverse, feeling supported by the same earth, and
breathing the earth energy up into the feet. Breathing it up into the spine, letting it fill the spine and all of the energy centers activated all the way up to the crown. And breathing it up and out the top of the head, all the way up into the center of the universe. Mingling with cosmic energies, star energy, star beings, spirit guides. And breathing that cosmic energy back down into the crown and letting it flood all of the cells with light. Breathing it back down through the body and back down and out the feet. Feeling really grounded and connected. Nice deep breaths. Take your time, go at your own pace. Breathing in, reaching up, clasping the thumbs, stretching back from the tailbone to the fingertips, opening the whole front side of the body, and swan diving forward. Knees are soft, clasping the ankles or the elbows. Just hang, letting gravity pull everything into alignment. Maybe rock back and forth, just relaxing completely within the structure. Bringing the hands down, taking the right foot back, stretching from nose to toes. Creating length, feeling that right hip nice and open, and dropping the right knee and rolling into the right hip. I like to flip my wrists around and really just relax as much as possible. Letting that right hip just open like taffy. There's always a balance in stretching. The masculine side is the structure, holding the pose and the posture, and then the feminine side is just relaxing into that posture as much as possible. The more you relax, the more you stretch. So slowly rolling out of that hip, coming back over the extended left leg, nice and easy, supporting yourself. Giving the back of the leg a nice stretch. Nice deep breaths. And bending that knee, curling the toes under. Take the left foot back to meet the right into downward dog. Lifting the hips, pulling the chest toward the knees, releasing the head. Walking your dog, making it your own, getting comfortable. Wherever there's tension, move the body. Coming into plank, holding yourself nice and strong away from your space. Dropping the knees and coming down. One push up into upward dog, releasing the lower back, wiggling the booty, sending waves up the spine. Holding a nice strong posture with the upper body and totally relaxing the lower body. Curling back into child's pose, reaching forward and rocking back and forth over the hip flexors one at a time as you reach forward, one arm at a time. Nice and slow, curling up, all the way up, rolling the shoulders back, pressing the palms together, and slowly bringing the chest towards the pelvis in short little crunches, activating the solar plexus. Generating heat, activating discipline, motivation, willpower, all the solar plexus, solar energy. And reaching up, clasping the thumbs, stretching back from the tailbone to the fingertips, spreading all that energy we just generated. Wrist circles, nice full circles with the wrists, like you're scooping frosting out of a bowl with your middle finger. And back into tabletop, and back into downward dog, lifting the hips, pulling the chest toward the knees, releasing the head. Walking the dog again, Getting comfortable, taking that right foot forward, stretching from nose to toes, creating length in the left hip and the left leg, and dropping that left knee and rolling in to the left hip. These hip openers are super important for all kinds of dance, but especially belly dance. A lot of hip isolation, hip movement involved. It takes about 30 seconds for a muscle to actually fully release. So the longer you can stay in a posture and really just relax into it, the more flexibility you gain. And that's where it becomes a meditation, where you're just kind of encountering your resistance, you're being aware of it, but you're just breathing through it and relaxing into it, and just allowing it to naturally release. And slowly rolling out of that, coming back over the extended right leg, taking your time, supporting yourself, and releasing the back of the right leg, letting gravity just naturally stretch the muscles. And bending that right knee, curling the toes under, bringing the left foot up to meet the right. Again, just hanging out, bending the knees, supporting the chest with the knees. You can clasp the elbows here, or clasp the ankles. Bending deep, weight goes into the heels. Reaching up, shoulders are relaxed. Tucking the pelvis, reaching up through the upper body, grounded in the lower body, just bouncing in your chair a little bit, feeling your legs. Spreading the toes, spreading the fingers, feeling the energy you're drawing in. Nice deep breaths. And letting your legs lift you to standing, linking the thumbs, stretching back from the tailbone to the fingertips, relaxing into namaste. Use side slides with the hips, just side to side, circulating all that hip flexor energy we just released. And we're gonna do one more little half a flow, sun salutes. Reaching up, stretching back from the tailbone to the fingertips. Nice and open, swan diving forward. Knees are bent. This time you can clasp the hands behind the back and release the shoulders. You can try swallowing a few times, getting that lymph drainage. Bringing the hands down, taking the left foot back, stretching from nose to toes, engaging the chin, the face muscles. Taking the right foot back into downward dog, releasing the shoulders, hips. Coming into plank, holding yourself nice and strong, becoming aware of everything all at once. Lowering the knees. I like to do some push-ups here. Maybe 5 yogi push-ups. Relaxing into upward dog, releasing the lower back, wiggling the booty, sending waves up the spine. Curling back into child's pose. Rocking back and forth over the hip flexors one at a time, curling forward one at a time. And back up into downward dog. Lifting the hips, pulling the chest toward the knees, releasing the head. Taking the left foot forward, stretching from nose to toes, engaging the chin. And dropping into side ninja, supporting yourself as you lean forward. Getting that inner thigh stretch on the right side. Just taking your time. Allowing it to release on its own, just with gravity. You're relaxing the right leg as much as possible. Supporting yourself over to the other side. Getting that left inner butterfly. And supporting yourself back to the left to the front of the mat, stretching from nose to toes, creating length, engaging the chin, bringing the right foot up to meet the left. Again, you can clasp the hands behind, bending the knees, chest is supported with the knees. You can release the shoulders, or you can just clasp the ankles. Here, maybe going for a little deeper stretch. Bending the knees nice and deep, weight goes into the heels, tucking the pelvis, extending through the upper body, grounded in the lower body, bouncing in your chair a little bit, feeling strong, feeling lengthened, and allow your legs to lift you into standing, reaching back from the tailbone to the fingertips and into namaste. Side slides with the hips, just pushing them out side to side, getting that energy flowing. Arm swings back, and forward. Everything's warm, fluid, and stretchy. This stretch I like to do even just while I'm waiting for my water to boil, or I'm on the phone, or I'm somewhere. Just a really good hip opener stretch. So we'll go into some dance movements. And we'll start with correct posture. So finding your feet underneath the hips, about hip width apart, maybe a little closer. Knees are bent slightly to obscure the vision of your toes. So when you're standing up, you can look down and see your toes, and then when you bend the knees, you can't see your toes anymore. You're also going to tuck the pelvis. So you're taking that curve out of the spine. When you normally stand straight, your tailbone's over here, your heart's over here, and your head's somewhere in the middle. You want to bend the knees and tuck the pelvis to create one line of energy centers. When we do that, we have mobility in the hips. We unlock the whole lower body, whereas when you're standing up normally, you're kind of locked out. So we want to drop and tuck, and we're going to place our hands on the magical escalator walkway at the airport. So they're just going to kind of be glued in space, which also helps give the illusion of isolation when your hands are just kind of locked in a certain place. So we're in posture, and then just kind of stand out of it normally, and then drop in, tuck pelvis, feel the difference between the two. When you're dropped in, you can even bounce a little bit in that energy. You can feel the energy flow when you bounce. So now just kind of standing with one leg, kind of a half stand with one leg, and you're leaving the other leg in the knee bent position, and then back, both knees bent, and then one leg straight, both knees bent, straight. We're not locking the knee out, we're just kind of straightening it a little bit, pushing that hip up, and then releasing it. So the hip, straightened leg, hip goes up, and then back, up, and back. And now we're just gonna shift back and forth. Shifting, dropping, so it's a contraction and a release at the same time. Yes. And now we're going to add the arms. So we're doing a basic shimmy. 1, 2, 1, 2. And we're just going to add the arms flowing in a big circle. 1, 2, 1, 2. And the arms are flowing at the same time. So this is left brain. Left brain is our mathematical, it's our counting, it's our rhythm, it's our Nikelesh, it's a melody. It's the feminine. It's the emotional, beautiful, fluid motion. So, and we have our Michael, our guitar player, our melody. 1 and 2. So doing both at the same time is really balancing for the mind. It might be awkward at first. You might notice you're kind of like clockwork. You want to just like move them at the same time. But we're trying to go for that really beautiful fluid motion with the arms and the nice sharp rhythmic hip drop. So back to escalator, and we speed it up a little bit. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So again, remembering to tuck the pelvis, bending the knees, lifting the upper body up and out, and adding the arms. Again, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Do it from the side. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. Wrist circles. If you're scooping frosting out of a bowl with your middle finger, let those circles float down. 1, 2, 1, 2. So again, feminine flow with the arms and the hands. Nice sharp rhythmic flow with the hips. Back to escalator, and 1, 2, 1, 2. So now I'm going to go super slow motion without right hip, and I'm going to lift. All my weight's going to transfer over to the right side, so I'm lifting that left leg. So again, I'm stepping into that shimmy, and I can actually lift my opposing leg. Which enables me to walk. 1, 2, and back, 2, and I can turn. And if I'm turned to the left, my right arm is out, my left arm is up, and I've still got my hips going. And now I'm going to transfer my weight to my left foot and lift my right foot up, and just kind of balancing the right leg underneath. I can lift that right hip only and drop. Lift, drop, lift, drop, lift, drop, drop. Adding the right arm. Sweep, wrist circles, lift, drop, drop. Yes, wrist circles, arms come up. Hot tub arms, elbows are up like you're sitting in a hot tub. Nice and round. You're lifting and dropping, lift, drop. Back to escalator, drop, lift, drop. All the way up and back to shimmy. 1, 2, 1, 2. Turning towards the right side, bringing the left arm down, and wrist circles. Weight goes onto the right leg and lifting the left hip. Drop, drop, lift, drop, lift, drop, lift, drop. Sweeping the left arm, lift, drop, lift, drop, lift, drop, lift. Hot tub arms, lift, lift, drop. Escalator in, drop. Now we're going to take that left foot and lift behind other foot up. Touch of arms. And now I can turn. Escalator hands. Back to shimmy. 1, 2, 1, 2. Tucking the pelvis and the arms are flowing. 1, 2, 2. Hot tub arms, turning to the left. Taking the right leg back, drop, back, drop, back, drop, back, drop, back, drop. Escalator hands, lift, drop, lift, and transferring the weight again, step to the front, lift, drop, circling, stepping, arms, lift, drop, back to shimmy, arms, one up, one down, coming behind and pull apart, drop, breathe, one comes up, one comes behind, we're circles, pull apart, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, just shifting, arms, sweeping the left arm, right arm, letting the arms float down, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, bouncing back into your posture, coming into alignment, finding forward with the hips, and back to center. So from the side, just forward, back to center, back, center, forward, center, back, forward and back. So from an aerial view, if you're looking down on your geometry, you're creating a line in space with your tailbone, front and back. And coming into center, all of the lines are in center, and you're gonna slide the tailbone to the left and right. Right, left. Escalator hands. So you're kind of keeping your other points still in space, keeping your hands still, just isolating that hip slide. Back to center, forward, left, back, and right. Forward, left, back, right, and smoothing it out into a circle, hitting all 4 of those points just with the tailbone, and leaving your other points in the rest of the body in a nice still place. Checking your aerial view, you're creating a circle with the tailbone, and you can make that circle big. Breathing, and you can make it smaller, bringing it in, tiny little spiral, right around the tailbone, as if it was just like a ball bearing. And coming back into stillness, bouncing a little bit into your center, finding center, breathing, again drawing forward with the tailbone, sliding to the right, back, and left. Forward, right, back, left. And this can be a total rhythmic. You can even kind of bounce on your heels. You can make it big. Or you can smooth it out into that beautiful circle. You're still hitting all 4 of those points, and you're creating stillness with the upper body, drawing that line in space with the lower body. Breathing. You can leave your hands up. You can try hot tub arms, or you can come down into escalator, spiraling in a little smaller, tiny spiral circles. Just like a ball bearing. And coming into stillness again, into your center, bouncing a little bit, finding that energetic flow. Nice deep breaths. You can also do bear in the woods. What I call bear in the woods, where you just go for a second and just kind of shake it out. Make sure you're not straining your back, and again, posture is super important for that, so you're not locked out at all. You're always keeping that energy flow. Side slides, just loosening up those hips, and coming into center again, finding your feet. If you're feeling like it's too much effort also, you might try bringing your feet in a little closer. Bending the knees, elevated through the upper body, and now finding that heart center point. So we have the tailbone point, we have the heart center, and we have the crown. So heart center, hands in escalator, we have center, and then we find forward and back. Center, back, center, forward, center, back, center, forward, back and forward. You can make it exaggerated. You're just trying to find your range of motion, and you're going to try to keep your other 2 points relatively still in space to increase that isolation effect. Coming back into center, sliding to the left and right. Chest slides, left and right. Again, you're going to try to keep your other 2 points still. You can try it with a book on your head, but just visually you're drawing a line in space with just the chest. Coming back into center and taking it forward, sliding to the left, back, and right. Forward, left, back, and right. And smoothing it out into a circle. Again, isolating just that point in space, leaving the tailbone and the crown relatively still. Bring the arms up if that's easier. Making it smaller, tiny spirals, and spiraling in and bringing it into center. Finding forward again with the chest, sliding to the right, back, and left. And you can make that rhythmic. Or you can smooth it out into a circle. And one direction might be easier than the other, but we do both because balance. Spiraling in, tiny spirals right around the heart, relaxing the tailbone, coming into center, bouncing a little bit, finding your center again, and just real quick with the head, sliding to the left and the right, taking it easy. We didn't do a lot of neck exercises, but just to get that isolation effect of the head, back into center, finding forward, back, and circling to the left. Those shoulders are relaxed, and circling to the right. And sliding left and right. And chest, left and right. And hips. Hip circles to the left. Lots of arms. Bring it up to the chest, to the left. And head to the left. And stop, switch directions, circling to the right with the head. Take it into the chest. And into the hips. Nice, beautiful circles. You can do all kinds of fun things with your arms. Do hula arms. finding a nice position with the lower body. I think my camera's slowing. Finding a nice position with the lower body, we put all the weights on the left foot, and we're just gonna kind of throw the right leg behind. This is a nice stretch. You can cross the hands and just drop out that right side if there's any tension that's accumulated. Bending the left knee nice and deep and just dropping that right side out. Switching the weight to the right leg, dropping the left side out. Just a good little release. It's also a really beautiful posture. So while you're in this posture, we can focus on some arms, raising the arms, elbows lifted, like we have a yoga ball full of our hopes and dreams. And we're releasing it, and then we just let our arm float down. And yoga ball full of hopes and dreams. And release. And one more time, nice strong arms. And then beautiful release. Switching the weight to the left leg, throwing that right leg behind. Right arm, yoga ball, hopes and dreams, and there it goes. And release. And again, nice strong. And release. One more time. And back to posture. I'm gonna let that arm float down, and my left arm's floating up at the same time. Pelvis is tucked. We're feeling that alignment. And our arms are gonna mirror each other, creating an S. One comes up, nice and strong, and the other is floating down. Shoulders are relatively relaxed. We wanna make the movement as symmetrical and fluid and strong as possible. You can add the head for a little bit of extra accentuation. So leaning towards that hopes and dreams release. You can add the chest. We're doing so in a controlled way. So head, chest follows, and then you can add the hips. The hips in a figure eight, so we're kind of in that tuck seam or snake movement, and these are called snake arms. So that's a very kind of serpentine movement. But the hips are actually doing like a figure eight, going down and in and on the side. So I'm kind of stepping down into it and then bringing it up and in. Break that down and add that to head, chest, hip, head, chest, hip. Arms up. And now we're going to reverse that figure eight. So instead of coming up and in, we're going to go out and down. So out and down and shifting. Tub arms really accentuate the hips you're doing, so you're creating that figure eight again on the vertical level. So out and down, out and down. Escalator hands are also nice. Bending the knees if you're not seeing the movement that you want. Out and down, and again, that's why the stretches in the beginning are so good and so important, because the more flexibility you have, also like dropping out, creating that stretch on either side, you'll get more mobility in the hips. So this one is the out and downward figure eight. It's called Maya. And it's out and down. It's kind of an offering. accentuation with the hands. And then back into shimmy, just dropping and contract. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. Turning to the right, and weight goes to the right leg, hip drop, drop, lift, drop, lift, circle, hot tub arms. So my body's turned, but my arms are towards the front. Tippy toe shimmy, 1, 2, 1, 2, all the way to the left. Weight goes on the left foot and drop the right hip. Drop, lift, wrist circles, arms up. Take it back, drop, and front. Side, drop, side, drop. Tippy toe shimmy, 1, 2, walk with the tippy toe and back. Back footed, adding that circle. Left arm sweeps, right arm sweeps. So when you're practicing this at home or on the playa, wherever you are, just walking with your shimmies while you're flowing with your arms is a really good left and right brain exercise. Whatever you're doing, if you're doing a rhythmic exercise, you want to make sure you're flowing in some way with the arms. If you're turning in a circle, or you're doing wrist circles, or you're walking. So that way you're getting it in your muscle memory that you can do both at the same time. Into figure eights, inward, upward, and inward, called taksim, and outward and downward, called maya. You can also step with your figure eights. Step, 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 step. Wrist circles, hip circles. So again, if I slow motion hip circle, I'm on the right side, I can lift my left foot up, just continuing that circle, and my weight shifts to my left leg, I can lift my right leg up. So I can walk with my circles. You can take little baby steps, or you can take big steps. Turn in a circle with my hip circles, circles within circles. Tiny circles, snake arms with hip circles. You can do snake arms out to the front, wax on, wax off. Back to shimmy, one arm up, one arm down, turning to the left, hip drop. Snake arms to the front, lift, drop, drop, lift, drop, lift, front and back, drop, drop, and switching that weight, switching the arms and legs. Now I'm on my left hip drop. And you can turn in a circle with this one. It's nice movement. So kind of karshlamah. It's good, pretty with the veil. Front, side, back. Front, side, back. Front, side, back. Front, side, back. Back, back, lift, drop. So I'm really contracting that back leg so I can get that pop. And now I'm tucking that leg underneath, but lifting with my left foot. Again, taking the curve out of the spine. Posture is really important so that you're not back here. And we can just kind of relax and drop that hip multiple times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. way to move energy, like we did from the circles to the circles. Another way is kind of straight up and down. So when you're in hip bump posture, your weight's on your right leg. You're in center, you're gonna find your scoop and your pop. So it's similar to finding that front and back with the tailbone, but it's more of a muscular kind of scoop and pop. So you're scooping and popping, and then with the chest, you're just finding out and back, out and back. So undulation begins in the chest, and it's like if you have a flat surface or like a door, like I'm gonna go up against the edge of my screen, I'm about 6 inches away, and I'm gonna make contact first with the chest and then let the rest of the body roll down and back into posture. So undulation, chest, roll, back down. And roll, and down. Chest. So you can literally touch that surface and allow your whole body to roll down into it. Switching sides, going to your other edge, and all your weight's on your left foot, and you're finding your scoop and pop. You're gonna scoop to the edge and then allow the body to roll up and end in the chest. So I'm scooping and rolling. Scoop and roll. So to do both, this is kind of like the elevator of motion. So you're down here and you've got your hip bumps going on, and then you want to bring the energy up to the chest and do some beautiful chest rolls. So you're gonna scoop, bring it up, chest circle to the left, undulation, chest comes out, following down and landing in the hips. Now you can do hip circles here, or hip bumps, and up, chest circle. And undulation, down, bumps. So it's kind of a cool little elevator of motion to add to all of the amazing moves you have. You've got some arms going on, and then undulation down. You can just also undulate up and down. So you're kind of adding an accent at the top and the bottom, and you can make it really rhythmic. You can involve your arms. So you have a lot of basics to work with. Posture is super important. Also, just getting that nice looseness in the hips, doing the bear in the woods before and after, stretching out really well, and dancing all night on the playa. Thank you to my beautiful musicians. So great.